Hello, patron friends. It's Sandy here with your monthly bonus video. And this one, I thought of you guys when I started coloring it. And so I print out another one to color again. It's a Mo Manning image. It has these cute little friends who are eating ice cream and walking away. And I thought this would be a fun way to say thank you for being my online friends. I don't know many of you in person, but I feel like I know you just from having your support because it means a lot to me. Because this is one of those things that enables me to keep up on getting all the supplies that I need and paying my health care and all those wonderful things that we all need to do in this world. And it means a whole lot to have a group of people who understand that support is necessary, and even just $1 a month when it's combined with other people, and all of you are the $10 and up folks, and so you make a bigger sacrifice than a lot of the other people, and I just want to say I appreciate you. You mean the world to me. So I'm coloring this with Copics, of course, using my normal purple for my shading that I'm using. So this is me on the left, because that would be about the size of my pigtails. I don't have very long hair right now, so my pigtails would be little itty bitty teeny tiny ones. And the lighting I'm picturing on this is coming from in front of them, like they're walking toward the light, I guess on the left hand side, maybe a sunset type of lighting in the evening. Because, you know, summer evenings are made for ice cream. That's my rule in life. And yes, I did forget one of her arms, but hang tight. I'll get to that eventually. I used to love going to get ice cream from the ice cream man on summer nights. That made me just no end of happy when I would hear the little music coming down the street. And in my neighborhood now, there's an ice cream truck that's parked a few houses down from me. So that is our neighborhood ice cream man. I know he goes to other neighborhoods too, but he comes around our neighborhood as well. So I buy from him sometimes, even though I might have ice cream in my fridge, because it's just fun to relive that going outside and getting an ice cream from a guy on the street kind of thing. Because, yeah, sometimes you just need to be a kid again. But with these little girls, the highlights are all on the top and toward the left of most of them. I was really happy with the legs on the girl on the left, because with that one, she has some shadows cast from her skirt down onto her legs, but that back leg might be sticking out and catching some sunlight. So that's why that's a little bit brighter, and it just, you know, sometimes I hit the lighting just right and it does something really cool. So there you go. And of course, this little girl, I was changing her ethnicity because I know we have some people of color who are here in our wonderful band of patrons. So you can picture that being you. And I will send this to one of you who comments on this video on the Patron page. So I will pick randomly from one of you guys and send this card off. When I'm coloring the clothing, I'm again leaving that highlight over there on the left hand side and letting the rest be really dark, because that's really what it would be if the sunlight is coming from in front of them. There's only going to be a little bit of light escaping around that side, or maybe sometimes cascading around the back, like that back leg. I'm picturing the sun being just off to the side a little bit so that a little of that sun might come cascading around. Light does bend around objects a bit, and so that's what I'm assuming here. Give her a little blue skirt, so she's all dressed for 4th of July. She's all summery. And then this little girl, I'm going to give her an orange shirt. I was going to make it red, but I realized her friend is wearing red, and I didn't want them both wearing red, so one's wearing orange instead. And then her dress, I was debating whether or not I'd make it a white dress, but how do you make a white dress when it's got all this shadow? So I started with a C3 and I realized that wasn't really dark enough, because there was just not enough really dark color there to make it look like the sun was really coming from the other direction. So even though I'm using a C4, this may have even been a C5. I have C4 on the screen, but that might have been a C5 because it looks awfully dark. But I liked how that looked even better. And it may feel a little bit like a gray little dress, but I think by the time the rest of it's in, it does come across as a white dress, just in heavy shadow. Gave them each a little bit of color for their ice cream cones. I'll do a little bit on their shoes. In the background, I was thinking about it while I was working on this. I didn't want it to be super complex because there's a lot of detail in this image from Mo Manning. So I thought I'm going to start with just the shadows, and they would come off of the feet that are touching the ground and then get a little bit wider, but shadows get lighter as they get further away from the subject. So they're darkest right beside the subject. And then I started kind of figuring, okay, if I do a sidewalk, so if they're walking along a sidewalk with their ice creams, and decided I would just have that right-hand side of the sidewalk, throwing in a little bit of color here and there so that the sidewalk feels like it's a little bit on the gray side. If you're hearing funky noises, Giallo decided to go have a drink right now. He does that when it's time to do videos. But using a little perspective to put my sidewalk lines in, and then I'm just going to put in a little bit of grass. Just a tiny bit, not a ton, because sometimes I overdo it. And I like just giving the suggestion of somewhere that they're walking along. But if I leave it that simple, then it really makes the card focus on those two little girls. So I mounted it on a piece of black cardstock, black card base, with just a little bit of the card base showing on that right-hand side. And I think it came out really cute. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Thank you very much for being patrons, being awesome and wonderful people. And I will, of course, see you on the Patron page. So feel free to go leave a comment, and I will pick somebody in the next couple days to send this card off to. Bye-bye.